Pretty beautiful morning. Felt like sun's setting, or sun is rising. Gonna start doing a little bit more work today. Compost is actually good to go into its bin. Made myself a little fun walkway. Didn't really think about this. Let's think about taking my coffee with me, and a cigarette, but didn't really think about the hand process. Had a bunch of compost that I moved from over here as well. We used to be a big old pile, and I got 75%, 60% of it. Started to pack it into a hugelkultur concept because there's a hugelkultur, but I'm gonna add extra shade, and I'm gonna keep with the concept of the wood on the bottom, wood chips on the bottom. I'm gonna keep layering it. And just basically I'm just adding one extra barrier of shade on top, and then behind it I actually dug and did a kind of traditional hugelkultur, except I didn't add enough nitrogen or green leaf stuff. It was basically just excuse me, let's go get this coffee. It's basically just sticks and stuff that was like creosote bush twigs that they had seemingly mycelium on them, or they were at least breaking down. There was some good slimy stuff on them, so I felt like I tried my best to keep that moisture and keep that soil and just disperse it in areas. And this is a shame. I had all of my truck camper pieces and things over there for too long. It's been kind of just in my way. Every time I do a video, I mean, it just hurts my heart to look at it. I'm like, fucking Christ, Kyle. Apologize. I'm working on it. So I did put a handful of things over to the side of my burnt crap, being like, hey, this is as artistic as I can do. And I had a little bit of fun with it, just picking out the things that survived. Got myself a propane tank and some other destroyed, rusted metal pieces that made it out of my camper fire. And as I was doing it, I felt like I was like, yeah, I'm just going to organize it. I'm putting stuff together. And then it also became, I'm going to make sure that people know that I'm motherfucking here, because I've had people stake my stuff off of this area. And then, so I kind of built it in a stupid way. Because at first I was like, this looks so cool. And then I walked past it the next day, and I was like, this is so dumb. So I'm probably going to do something different. Obviously, at the end of the day, the goal was just to put, like, all of the things, like, I can't even. Like, I had shit that melted into shit. And I just kind of put it all together. Like, there's my ironing board, bunch of wires, and like there's my lock and like a towel. It's all, I had a moment, all right, like a mental break, I'm not gonna lie, all right, and I just was like, fuck everything, and I left it. And now that I've left it for so long, I've been looking at it like, you know what? We're not going to run away from it. We're going to put it on display every time I freaking drive in here. I'm going to have to look at it until I move it. Again, it is stinking beautiful. And now we have this eyesore, which I will do a better job of just putting like, again, the pieces of wood, pieces of metal, just putting things together that need to happen. The pallet is on top of all the cardboard. When I moved here, I put all cardboard crap in underneath, on top of a pallet, and then underneath a pallet. So I will be moving all of that cardboard to be using for composting and insulation for my bins. And one of the main reasons why I'm doing this walk is because I was happy with my bin. This was also a really cool idea in my mind. And every time I look at it, I'm like, you're so dumb. So I keep having people not understand when I'm driving through here that this is my area. And so in my mind, I'm building a little spot that was designating this is the road and this is now my property. And the idea was that I'm going to take things that were a part of my life and a part of the camper, and I just kind of threw them into an area, and I was like, oh, I'm making a collage. Yeah, 100. I'm making art, baby. That is not art. That is a bunch of junk. That's all right, though. I felt pretty good putting it together. I'm going to build a box to put inside of the RV so that I can put the batteries, and once I get a solar system, because right now still don't have any power because I fried a solar controller, then got a solar controller from a neighbor. That neighbor also, I also destroyed my neighbor's solar controller. Hilarious. And and so, and so having the power in the house, or having power, is now not a reality. Even though I do have a good battery, I got a great battery. The way in which those wires are hanging back there, I tapped. It got too close to the connection while I was trying to set up the connection. I'm just trying to make it look cleaner. And completely fried the first one. Second one seemed to have already been kind of messed up. Alright. Goal is I removed 90%, still got some junk. I'm going to remove that as well. I haven't decided whether or not this will be parking or not, but this is home. This will be the earthship. This will be the actual home. But I'm probably going to build a first earthship over here just for greenhouse, just for storage of things that I grow. And I've been thinking about doing some form of like distillation, beer making process, growing like gourmet mushrooms, anything that I can do that will make me happy, test some new stuff, do new things. I feel like that's like the dealio. Just like let's have some fun and do some stuff. I'm gonna try to save anything that I can out of the piles here. I got prickly pear cactuses on there. Well, I believe they're prickly pear cactuses. They're super fucking fuzzy right now. So I believe. I tried really hard to designate a spot that says this is the drop-off place for the landscaping. But each guy that comes in here thinks that this is the area to drive around. So I gotta stop this little process because this is where my drain line is to my septic tank. It starts over there, comes over here, and for whatever reason, when men drive their big trucks, they feel like this is the opening to go around that way. So I'm going to try to do my best to move my pallets in kind of a semicircle here because I do want to add crap, but the goal is where that bucket is, we're going to make a nice little line all the way down to like right here. And then this area over here is going to be the beginning of the permaculture and the composting system. And instead of me trying to work hard on an acre, I'm just going to work hard on 1/3 of an acre and really start hard on like the top half of this, top sixth. But I got myself a compost bin. The idea of the compost bin has kind of gone back and forth. And the reason why is because everyone that I talk to seems to have an issue, or everyone that I research seems to have an issue with humidity levels and holding on to moisture. It is a damn desert. It's all like it's rocky, it's dirty, it's hard. But the idea was I've got a double pallet wall, right? And I'm trying to put the, like, that's a bad example, but like you can see that one's a full one. And this one is just very, as good as it can be, right? But this is like a shade wall, and hopefully I can grow stuff along the edges that will add. But it is not the only wall, right? I've got little spots for hopefully little air pockets, which I'm going to fill and add some insulation. I'm going to add cardboard to the inside of this, and then I'm going to put a whole bunch of wood chips and logs on the bottom. And the idea is that hugelkultur concept of letting the sticks and at least like having a kind of like a sponge layer for the moisture to stick around, that's kind of what I'm shooting for. So I've got bags of very nice, finely ground, like wood chips and dust, and all of this is going to go in there. I'm going to pile it nice. I'm going to also add any kind of stick and larger pieces of log, kind of stick them under the bottom. It's kind of the reason why I had this access point. But then again, cardboard the walls, cardboard a lid. Well, lid. Oh crap, I can't remember which one's the lid. But I'm going to cardboard both of those. One of them's going to be a door, one of them's going to be a lid. I'm going to screw it all in, mostly. And I feel like I'll just leave the lid to kind of access it. And then I have a door access point so that when I do decide to need to like move shit around, I have an access door, basically, is my thought process, to get like a shovel in there and move shit around. But the goal will be to leave this as long as humanly possible. And if I can do that and just kind of build this system, this area that I'm on, this is facing that 2 o'clock area. Well, that point is kind of like where my noon sun, right? It's gonna be super duper high. The goal is to give as much shade, as much pocket, and hold as much moisture into this area as possible. So heavily cardboarding this and on the outside, and that's all gonna be today, hopefully, or at least the next time that you see this shit. But yeah, I'm planning on doing something similar on this, except I think I'm gonna, like, this is going to be hopefully a worm bin eventually. Like, inoculating this ground and this area, allowing the moisture from the swells to come in. I may build that to come this direction if it needs to. But then that one, I'm thinking ants, in terms of I'm going to pile stuff and then I'm just going to put the pallets on top of it for like that shade extra wall kind of thought. But I'm thinking that this corner pocket right here, I may just do some piles. Not that I'm against this thought process, I'm just thinking that this is a lot of extra work. It may not work. Hugelkulturs with the shade wall, and then basically piles of the compost that I'm going to be moving from that area. That's like the drop-off zone from my landscaping companies that I'm working with. Well, the one dude I'm working with right now, because apparently he's got more shit that I can't handle. But yeah, did some things, move some stuff around. I've got to get a piece of wood to build a bridge so I can get this damn wheelbarrow across. This is the Hugelkultur, the double Hugelkultur concept, where basically this is facing, hopefully, the most amount of heat throughout the day. It's faced the kind of, I don't know, probably like the 1 o'clock to that's probably like 10 o'clock. The goal is to get a little bit of, early moisture or early sunlight. Build out this wall. There is a little Zuni bowl, and then I basically, built, or there are access points, and I built it farther out, but over time, this is kind of a hugelkultur. It's just sticks that I buried. And this is supposed to be a real hugelkultur. Or there's stuff under the bottom, like right there is an actual spot where I built a little, like a mini smile, and then over time I was like, I'm piling it with sticks and I'm putting stuff on top of it, and then hopefully this will be a good spot. This is a spot on top of the ground that I'm just going to add that moisture to. And my thought is that this is one of the good spots that I'm hopefully going to hold on to and protect as much moisture, kind of like I don't know. I'm working it out as I go along. I think some of the ideas are there, but some of them are just, doing the best I can. Piled a whole bunch of crap. Got a whole bunch of mulch down. But again, lots and lots and lots of extra work to do, but hopefully you can see that, there's a patch, and there's a patch, and here's a patch, and I'm going to try to patch this area out. I did plant some marigolds here, and amaranth, and some lupins here with a little bit of marigolds. And then I tried spreading some sunflowers in a couple of little pockets. I did try a little cowpea, just kind of threw them down, soaked them, and let them see, and I haven't seen anything at all. So it is what it is. I didn't add much moisture. The truck broke down basically at the same time, so doing everything by hand, just carrying my 5 gallons out here. But this is that first check dam, hopefully to take in any excess water that comes down here through the floods. I'm going to access point that, make that a spot for water to actually go. In my mind, that was going to be there for, like a rain and just one more little spot. And the more I think about it, I'm gonna connect them. I'm gonna connect this little area right here to make sure the water doesn't just stop, but it actually goes. Because right now it's really got this access point. But yeah, I feel like I did a lot of good hard work moving all my junk out of the way. But a lot of more work to be done. Lots of more work to be done. Yeah, see my little stick bridge. And then these are going to be the pallets that I will break down, saw them down. They're all kind of crappy on one side, but then I'll use those for the cowpea garden, the flower garden, and the herb garden. And yeah, I haven't figured out how to do this area yet, but I do have a whole stack of gravel there that was also dropped off, so maybe I'll add that to either the entrance or the exit Or the entrance sloth sack shit. I'm not sure. Hope you're having a good day.